Hello Minecrafters everywhere, my name is Cubic and welcome to a new series. Today guys, we are going to be doing a series called Simply Command Blocks. I've been doing a lot of building with command blocks here recently, especially with a recent map that you guys should be seeing here. Within the next week or so will be released. Got a few more things I want to correct with it before we actually get into it. But what I'd like to do today guys is kind of do a tutorial just showing you guys what command blocks are about, how to use them, and as well as, just going through and some of the things that I learned I can share with you guys. Now the goal for this series is that we can kind of cover almost every single basic command you're going to need with any sort of map you're making, as well as you guys can also leave a comment down below what you guys would like me to tutorial next for the Simply Command Blocks series. So the first thing we're going to do is click on single player and create ourselves a new world. You guys can see kind of a few maps that I've worked on here recently or been looking at for references. But what I'm going to do is create a new world, and we're going to call this one Simply Command Blocks. Okay, we're going to set this to a creative world, and we're going to go into more world options. We're going to turn off, we should actually generate, let's turn off generate structures, just for right now. Always have cheats on, and bonus world, we're going to do a super flat world, and it has some presets. The Minecraft has some pretty good presets here that we can use for our command blocks. I think what I'm going to use for this one is the redstone ready one, which is just sandstone. Should be alright, and we're going to click done and create our new world. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do when we start here in a new world is to get ourselves a command block. Now how to do this is very basically we do /give, and then we do @player, which is @p, and then we're going to type in command_block. And now it's given us a command block. Now there are a few variations to this command. You can also do @player and then Minecraft :command block, and it'll give you another one. But just to simplify things, just to simplify things, I like to go with just the basic command block. So let's get rid of a few of these, and we're going to place down our first command block. Now there's a couple things about command blocks you guys should know. First of all, when we right click it, we can open up the console. You guys will see a lot of different things going on here. But notice that, or also note, I should say, that if we go into game mode 0, which sets ourselves to survival, if we click on a command block, we cannot access it. We can punch it, we can do whatever we want, we cannot access it. We can only access command blocks in creative. So this allows, this allows for whenever you're building like a map, for example, players who are forced into survival mode can't mess with your commands. So now what we're going to do is jump into the command block. Let's talk about this command block for a second. We have the console command, which this is where the actual command is going to go. So if we just put in a little bit of text, that's not an actual command, but you guys can see that that's where the command would go. Now we have a few things that are said here. Use @p for target nearest player. So whenever we typed in the the last give @p command blocks, let's go ahead and copy that into our console command here. We can actually set this to different things. So the @p command means @nearest player. It does not mean, however, that it's only going to target the nearest player. Let's just get that straight. It's not going to target specific players, just the nearest player. So if you run a string of commands, which we'll talk about later, and I'll highlight this a little bit more, it's only going to target the nearest player. So just keep that in mind. @r is random player, as it says here. So if you just want to do like give @player a random command or something, or random item, for example, just click that. It's only going to give it to me because I'm the only player here in this world, but you can do that for any time you want to do like random drops or give a player a random bow at a certain time, whatever that might be. @a targets all players, so all players would receive a command block if we push this button. So that's something to note, so that way you don't have to specifically target teams or whatever. And then @entity, that's a little bit different. @entity is targeting like mobs, for example. It won't actually give mobs a command block, I don't believe. That's more, we'll get into the @entity commands a little bit later, but for now we're going to do the @p command block. So if we click done, you guys will notice it gives us a command block. Now, let's talk about what is happening here. So we have this has been recently added. So let's first of all talk about the previous output. This just tells us like it's a troubleshooter example. So given command block 1 to CubicPlays MC, that's me. So it will just show whatever, if it's successful or if there's something wrong with it. Minecraft isn't very good about giving you like specifics. It's just kind of like balancing issues or whatever. It will tell you about that. So we have a few things down here. We have impulse, unconditional, and needs redstone. Now, a couple of these you might be able to figure out for yourself, but impulse means just basically whenever it receives a redstone signal, it only works once. Okay, it won't work again, it only works once. So now if we click chain, we will talk about that a little bit later, but chain is, let's talk about that a little bit later, shall we, because it's a little bit of a longer process to explain. But if we talk about repeat, actually changes the color of the command block. So if we have repeat, this basically what command blockers used to have to do was take some sort of a redstone clock and constantly do like a check for command of some sort. So like if we were looking to do something like this, it would just consistently give us command blocks. Now what we can have this thing do is just turn on repeat, and you guys will notice it's not giving us anything right now. What we need to do is set this to always active. Needs redstone means that if there's a redstone signal here, it will give us constantly give us command blocks. Okay, so if we were to just say it's always active, it doesn't need a redstone signal, it will just give us command blocks. Now, let's go ahead and put some of these away here for a second, and we'll get into a little bit more about this command block. So if, let's say, some of the basic commands you guys might want to use. So let's just set this to impulse, needs redstone. So the give @p command is pretty cool. It basically means any item IDs. So for example, if I want something besides a command block, so let's say I want a redstone torch. See, just below redstone torch it says Minecraft : redstone _ torch. Okay, so in order to get a redstone torch, we have to basically copy the redstone part. So redstone torch. Okay, so if we click this, it gives us a redstone torch, as you guys can see. What you can't do is do something like this, redstone torch. As you guys can see, there's no such name. There's no such item with the name Minecraft redstone torch. So you do have to be very specific with this in order to get it to work. Anything with like a space is normally an underscore and so forth, but you can also see we've got like the repeater doesn't have a space, so we really wouldn't need the redstone part. Alright everybody, so now what we need to do is discuss a little bit about how to get command blocks the easiest way. So you're going to be, if you're building your own map, for example, let's clear ourselves out these command blocks. Let's just clear our inventory in general. So let's say you're building a map and you don't want to type in this /give @p command block constantly. What you can actually do is middle click on a command block and it will actually give you another command block. You can also set a command block like this to, let's see, let me get that command back here real quick. Give @p command block, and you can also just click the button. That way you don't have to constantly type in that command. Alright everybody, so that's going to wrap it up for me today with the command block tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed discussing a little bit about how the basics of command blocks work. Next episode we are going to talk a little bit about some of the basic commands you can use to start out with and learn how to use command blocks. But for now, this is Cubic signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.